Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and look at this picture that was put out. This is he goes by T Boone. He's the what's the name? The TI Project. You can go. This guy prints all. I've talked to him I've met him a few times. He went to Georgia Tech. I was talking to him about how my dad also went to Georgia Tech, but he goes by T Boone on here. And he's the guy that has a company that prints all sorts of cool things. He even gave me some XRP cufflinks. You can check him out at the TI Project. But he is doing it looks like the badges, or at least part of the badges or whatever for XRP Las Vegas. And he was showing this. He says, getting them done. And so this is for XRP Las Vegas. Now remember, XRP is the largest XRP conference in the world, and this year it will become the largest developer builder conference as well. Show you why. But first I want to remind everybody we're 69 days away. I can't stress this enough. If you've been thinking about buying a ticket, you better hurry up, because you're going to have Bitcoin Las Vegas there too the same week. And so the hotel rooms and the plane flights, if you wait too long, you're going to get in trouble on that. I went ahead and got my stuff in order so that I didn't have to worry about it. And you got so many people coming. You got all the guys from Uphold, Chris Giancarlo, Cody Carbone, Digital Commerce, Chamber of the Digital Chamber, Brad Garlinghouse. There's Simon McLaughlin from Uphold. Dr. Chris Brummer will be interviewing Brad Garlinghouse on stage. Kevin Maloney, iTrustCapital. Stephen McClure, Canary Capital. Austin King, Omni. Mark Otto, Monerex. Nancy Beaton, Uphold. Keith Grossman, MoonPay. Georgios Falachos, Axelar, Dom Kwok, Phil Kwok, Easy A. Matt Hogan, Bitwise. This is Boone Bergsman, one of the nicest guys there. Met him last year. Web3 Industries. Paul Barron Network. Paul Barron will be there with a booth interviewing people. David Schwartz, John Deaton, Meta Lawman, James Murphy, Lynette Zhang, Jason Cousins Glintbay, Andy Scheckman, Artur, I'm not going to try to say his last name, from XP Market, Jake Boyle, Paul Unterberg, Uphold. Anthony Johnson, Uphold. A lot of Uphold guys coming. Robin O'Connell. There they all are. So you're going to want, you can still get discount tickets and discount rooms. A record is being set daily in ticket sales for XRP Las Vegas. There will be into the thousands there. And I want to remind everybody, this is new for this year. All you builders and developers out there, these guys from Easy A are going to be doing if you look at Easy A it's an app for developers. So the developers that want to go learn how to build on the XRP ledger, not just the XRP ledger, I don't think, but I'll show you their partners. These are the hackathons they do. I'm assuming they're going to call it the XRP Las Vegas hackathon. And they're going to do one of these where they're going to give $25,000 away to a builder developer team that wins. And look at their partners: Ripple, Stellar, Aptos, Stacks, Polkadot, Sui, Solana, Polygon. These guys they've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of developers on their platform. These guys are major. This is the way. So come and meet those guys and enter for your chance. They're going to be announcing it soon, I believe. Okay. And it's xrplasvegas.com. Now, this was going around yesterday. All you hear in crypto is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. That's all you hear. But that's not what's going to change the world of finance. They're just out here marketing and getting new buyers to herd everybody into the system. This is what's going to change the game. This is from Ondo Finance. Tokenizing is just getting started. While adoption of tokenized U.S. Treasuries has seen tremendous growth, the total opportunity for global equity markets is exponentially larger, in excess of 100 trillion. Well, who's helping them tokenize Treasuries? Treasuries being tokenized on the XRP ledger. And then these guys and Ripple and all the big players are going to move to tokenizing the stock market itself. But just a reminder, this was the Ondo finance guy.
Access to OUSG.
He was talking about U.S. tokenizing U.S. Treasuries.
Still limited to institutional.
Get to this part.
Mantle, Arbitrum, and Cosmos. We also built the Ondo bridge to enable seamless transfers across them, and we helped to integrate USDY in a number of DeFi protocols. And our chain expansion efforts will continue. We recently announced that OUSG is coming to the XRP ledger, and we're excited to also announce today that USDY is coming to Stellar.
Go figure. And then they also, I think he mentioned it in this video. I think he said they were partnered with BlackRock. Let's hear that.
At Ondo, we started our journey into tokenization by asking, how can we make stablecoins even better? The answer, tokenized treasuries, or as we call them, yield coins. Like stablecoins, they're accessible.
Now I want you to think about this. All you've heard out of BlackRock is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. That's all you've heard. Even though Robbie Mitchnick was at Ripple before he went there and pretty much erased that he was at Ripple. All you've heard is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. But these guys aren't stupid. They know what's really going to change the financial system.
Accessible globally 24/7 and programmable on chain, but they also pay holders a yield. Our first product, OUSG, targeted institutional and high net worth individuals in the crypto ecosystem, making it easy for them to go back and forth between stablecoins and US dollars, and to use yield-bearing assets as collateral in on-chain financial protocols. In order to demonstrate this utility, around the time we launched OUSG, we also developed Flux Finance, the first on-chain treasury repo marketplace, allowing OUSG holders to pledge their tokens as collateral and borrow against them. Earlier this year, with the help of BlackRock, we enabled instant minting and redemptions for OUSG.
So they're partnered with BlackRock. They're also partnered with Ripple. I told you when we were at the proper party, there was a guy from BlackRock there. These guys know. Now, if you listen to Robbie Mitchnick, he was on stage yesterday from the Digital Asset Summit. All you have to do is just pay attention, folks. I'm telling you, behind the scenes, it's not Bitcoin these guys are talking about.
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, we're very focused on the client dynamic and understanding where real client demand exists for efficient turnkey access vehicles in the same way that it absolutely did for Bitcoin and also did for Ether. And so that's the number one guiding thing. When it comes to things that are maybe a little less straightforward than just these single ticker
the real world use cases and utility that are not Bitcoin
products, there's an element of getting comfort and building conviction in the idea that we can build something that's actually...
And we've all had our people out here marketing Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin for a decade while we're building behind the scenes.
Efficient and a great product for investors, not just that investors might buy it, but to actually understand that this is solving a problem for them and is in a structure that benefits them. And that is not so easy to do for a lot of these things, and that's part of the ongoing sort of monitoring plus exploration evaluation process that we undertake.
Yeah, I bet you are educating some of them. This was going around this morning. Apparently someone hacked Watcher Guru's account and put this out, just in swift nearing agreement with Ripple to use XRP for cross-border payments with billions of XRP secured in escrow as liquidity reserves. So this was put out by the hacker and then deleted. And somebody says, well, did your Facebook get hacked too? And they said, no, our Facebook bot automatically reposted this. So it was fake news. Now, here's Matt Hogan, who will be at XRP Las Vegas. The Bitcoin marketing machine continues, but there's some I agree with what he's saying about the overall of what's coming for crypto.
My favorite view of
And by the way, I think this guy's one of the good guy Bitcoin maxis, because he's not intellectually dishonest and doesn't try to bash everything else. He's pro Bitcoin. Nothing wrong with that.
the value of Bitcoin on a long-term basis is to look at the size of the market it's going after. I think Bitcoin is well on its way to disrupting gold. That's a $20 trillion market. I think it's going to be used for international transaction and cross-border transactions. That's another many trillion-dollar market.
Come on, Matt. On that one, you know who.
And then you can divide that by the number of Bitcoin and you end up with a target amount. At Bitwise, we think it's going to cross $1 million by 2029. I think from a shorter term perspective, you can just look at supply and demand in the market, right? The big criticism of Bitcoin is the price is set by supply and demand. But that's also a real benefit when you're in a market like today, where again, we're producing 160,000 Bitcoin a year and ETFs are buying 500,000. Right. Something has to give. And I think what gives is price resistance, and ultimately it goes higher.
I think every pension fund should be allocated to Bitcoin. When I was a reporter, I covered just how so many of these pension funds are essentially underwater. It's so sad. But I heard actually, and I'm curious if you could tell me if this is true, that let's say there's a pension fund interested in allocating to Bitcoin. They actually have to go out and meet with a consultant for the consultant to do due diligence on Bitcoin. And that could take months and months. And if the consultant says, no, you shouldn't invest in it, then they just pass on it. Is that true? Are there gatekeepers?
It's mostly true. Yeah. So, I mean, the deep institutional investor market is a market with tier after tier after tier, because those people want their jobs. And if it goes wrong, they want someone to point at and say it was their fault. That said, we've been working with a number of consultants for a significant number of years, and many of them are already allocating. That's why you're starting to see this bubble up through the end. I'll add one more thought from an institutional perspective, because I think people overlook it. Crypto's a $3 trillion market right now. If you have a 0%
This is key.
allocation to crypto, you're effectively short.
Yeah.
Right. When we talk about people allocating 1 or 2% to Bitcoin, that's just to get to neutral. And I think institutions are starting to recognize that. Once you accept it as part of this pie, you need to have at least a little bit, or you're making an active bet against it. And they're not comfortable doing that either. So I think you're going to see this 1-2% thing really take off at the institutional level over the next few years.
Yes, sir, you are. Now, I'm going to go into daixrp.com. If you want to join daixrp.com, that's the Patreon. You just go there. You can also join through YouTube. Click the join button below this video. What we're going to talk about today, we do extended videos with no advertising. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to go further into the great distraction. What they're showing you versus what's really going on. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Let's go look at the great distraction.